Hey, I'm Des.
Hey y'all, I'm Sai.
And we're the co hosts of Let's Talk Sis podcast, where we truly believe that together empowered women can transform their lives.
Join us for heartfelt stories, enlightening conversations, and a whole lot of accountability along the way. Hey y'all.
Hey.
We're back with another episode.
We're back with the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
We are here to episode 10.
Yeah, y'all. This the last episode of season 1. And I feel like we always say this, but thank you guys for just showing up every week and patronizing us. And we hear all of the feedback. We thank y'all for tuning in.
Definitely.
Engaging and sharing us with your own individual platforms.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like season 1 came to an end so fast.
Felt pretty long to me.
Really?
It felt very long to me. Very, very long.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about like how this was an idea, how we started ordering the equipment, how we was like, I'm thinking about the transition of time, and then to say that a season is completed.
Yeah, like a whole season is done.
I don't know. It went by pretty fast in my opinion, but nonetheless, let's dive right into today's topic.
Yes, we're talking about what, dating?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one. You know, they love talking about dating.
Yeah.
The girls love to hear about it. So, where you want to start? I feel like it's so many places to go into.
I was going to say, I don't know where to start necessarily because I feel like there are so many layers to dating. Yeah. Like the conversation based around dating, right? Because then we got those 50-50 conversations. We got the who eating at Fridays and Cheesecake Factory conversations. And then we got the he gonna cheat, so I'm gonna just
then we got the it is what it is conversation.
Yeah, so it is what it is type of thing. So I don't know. Let's start off. What end of the spectrum are you on?
I was about to say, I feel like we should touch on those topics briefly to just wipe them out, so it won't be too much of a deep discussion. Yeah. What is my preference as far as what?
Everything. Like touch a little bit on everything. Like,
okay, so where should we start? What's the most popular? 50-50?
Yeah, we can start there.
I'm not going 50-50 with no man. Nip that in the bud real quick. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
What's another one?
Are you eating at the Cheesecake
Factory?
We're gonna
cut them off. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am going to eat at the Cheesecake Factory.
And you okay with Timmy and cheating on you as long as he pay all the bills?
No, I'm not. Okay. No.
You heard it here first. In live.
Now, listen. Okay, so I feel like the cheating it's like you dive a little bit deeper into that. That's not just, I mean, it is black and white, but then it's not black and white.
What you mean?
Okay, so it's black and white with, are you accepting cheating or is you not? That's kind of black and white. But then I feel like, what's cheating? What's cheating to you? What's cheating to, like, you know, it's so deep that you can go into that. And then based on what your relationship calls for, it's like, I don't know. I think that,
I was going to say, to sum everything up that you're saying, I definitely agree 1,000%. I believe that cheating is subjective. It's not
very subjective.
Yeah, it's not one size fit all. So I can't sit here and say this is the standard that women should uphold as a whole because everyone's situation is different.
I think all of these topics are subjective in a relationship.
I definitely agree.
Everything is subjective.
Yeah.
Because even down to the 50-50, some people are not financially, like some men or males or boys, whatever they are not financially stable enough to 100% contribute to their household.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so sometimes
I'm 25. How old are you?
24.
Okay, so you 24, 25. We're both African American women, right? And let's say, regardless of what our preferences or whatever, but let's say we date within our proximity, meaning that, or demographic, I should say, meaning that we're dating men our age, our ethnicity, right? What are the chances like for us to find a man, a growing boy or a growing man at the prime age of 25 who can provide everything that we want?
So I'm going to be real with you. And I'm going to say what the people probably don't want to hear. It's 2023 and it's about to be 2024. By the time this release, actually, it will be 2024. And this is my perspective. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard finding a man that's going to take care of you. Mm-hmm. At our age. It's not. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the downfall to your average 24, 25, 26-year-old man.
Wait, now you confused me because you said it's not that hard, which implies that that is the average.
No, I'm just saying it's not that hard. Like, so your average, when I say average, I mean your average, like the regular person that don't got no money. Like,
but to say it's not that hard means that that is the average. It's not hard to seek these men who are going to take care of you. So is it hard, or is it average, or is it not average to find a man that's going to take care of you?
I mean, a 24 or 25-year-old man that can fully financially take care of himself and a whole nother adult.
Let me add, take care of himself
and
someone else.
Yeah, it's yourself
because
first.
There are men out here who will neglect their own self to make sure that they provide for a woman.
No.
But
take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself before you do anything with anybody. Mm-hmm. That's for men and women.
So what is it? So what's the chances?
I don't know. I don't think they're too slim.
Okay.
But that's my personal opinion from my personal experience. Mm-hmm. It's dudes out here with money everywhere.
Okay.
So I don't think it's the hardest thing, but I also believe.
Wait, so let me cut you off real quick. So the men that you be dating, do they be like drug dealers or scammers?
I was about to say that. They be very illegal. They don't be your average. That's what I mean by average, though. When I say average, I don't mean like the medium. I mean average as in your regular working class individual.
So you're just a regular Joe just because you work a job?
No.
I'm just trying to understand.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying average meaning, I mean, it's not normal at the age of 23, 24 to be able to fully provide for yourself and other adults.
Boom. That's all I wanted to hear. So I asked you what were the chances. You said I don't think the chances are slim.
I don't think it's hard to find somebody.
I personally think that women in totality have placed this unrealistic expectation on men in our age group of our desires and our wants and our needs, if that makes sense. Because it's one thing for a man to be able to provide. When we say provide, that means security. There's a sense of security in a man being a provider, right? So when you say you want a man to provide for you, it's okay if he is in the place to provide for himself and provide for you. And if you guys are in a relationship, then y'all probably live in the same household. So essentially he's providing for y'all in one setting, right? But outside of that, when we talk about dating, it's like the trips, the bags, the shoes, like the wants. I feel like it's kind of unrealistic for a man to be able to actually provide the security. And then on top of that, oh, I want a Chanel bag. Oh, I want to go to Bora Bora. Oh, can you have the private jet pull up and come pick us up from the Clearport? It's like,
are you saying this is with...
Who do we think we are? And I'm saying we as a collective, like our generation.
So you saying that these are the things
that I'm seeing and witnessing
on social media?
In real life, my girlfriends.
And that's because what is happening, right?
It's happening for everybody but the people that desire it. And I'm saying that in the most like humblest, politest way. Because on social media, obviously we talked about this on the last episode, the influence of social media, right? But who are the people on social media that this is happening to? This is happening to the rapper baby moms.
Okay, so that's what I mean by not your average. Because when I say your average person, I mean you're a regular working individual. Most of the time where the men that's, or the guys or young boys that's overly providing, well, not overly providing, but fully providing for themselves and another grown person is typically your drug dealer, your scammer, your person that's making quick, fast money. Mm-hmm. And that's why all of those things, I want this Chanel bag, I want to go to Bora Bora. And that's what I mean by it's not too hard to find because it's happening.
It's happening, but I don't think, when I was asking the question, my question wasn't about what are the chances of it happening. It was, what are the chances of like men our age, our ethnicity, being able to provide that. And I'm not talking about anything illegal. My question was not correlating it to anything illegal. It was just
my opinion on. I feel like a black men period got a huge disadvantage. Because of, like we said, social media's influence and the whole illegal aspect of it gives your average black man a disadvantage, because the expectations are, like you said, very unrealistic and set really, really high, that a regular lifestyle couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't afford that. It's not reality. And that's what leads people.
What's a regular lifestyle, and why wouldn't somebody be able to afford a regular lifestyle?
No, I'm not saying you won't be able to afford a regular lifestyle. I'm saying your average person won't be able to afford all of the extra stuff you named. Oh, the Chanel bag, the jets, the Bora Bora trips, and all of that.
That's what I was referring to when I said the power of social media. Because here you are thinking that your man doesn't love you, or whatever he's providing is not sufficient enough. But it's like, when you're comparing apples and oranges, it'll never be enough.
It's not going to amount to the same thing at all. Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that for sure. So, I'm going to ask you, what is your opinion on, say if you meet a man, right? And you instantly like this man, love this man, whatever the case may be. This is like your person in every aspect, right? But they're still growing. They're still figuring their life out. They can't fully dream, like that dream that you want. They can't provide for you that dream that you want. Do they have a disadvantage opposed to the other man that you don't like at all, but is able to provide that?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no, because I am trying to do better as a woman that is dating, right? And dating with intention, because I'm getting older. So I'm going to say no. But one thing I could always say, I never really been an airhead, and I've been kind of introduced to money in the dating realm, like at a very young age. So by the time the City Girls came out and influenced like the whole new era of women, I was kind of like
ahead of
that curve a little bit, so I wasn't affected or influenced by it. But what I'm going to say is, regardless of how much money a man has had, I have always loved and admired a man with a plan. It's one thing to be a dreamer, but it's another thing to be a man with a vision and to be actively working towards it.
And I want you to dive into the difference of that. What's the difference between a man with a plan and a dreamer? Yeah. Because there's a lot of dreamers. Yeah. And I feel like they're sometimes
misconstrued,
confused.
Yeah. So, and this is, I just want to put a disclaimer. I am in no way, shape, form, size, color to be able to give nobody any sufficient dating advice, because my dating life sucks. But this is just my opinion. My opinion is that a dreamer. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of us who are entrepreneurs, right? We consider ourselves to be visionaries. In order to be a visionary, that means that you have to see the vision, right? Which is a part of dreaming. I'm not killing anyone's dream, and I'm not saying that dreams are bad, right? But here's the thing. We have this newfound terminology, manifestation, right? Newfound as in it was newly found to us, but has been out for a long time, right? Nonetheless. We hear manifestation, and I feel like we forget that we actually have to do the work. Yes. Like manually, physically, get in the field, get your hands dirty, and get to work. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, don't get too caught up in having your eyes closed and dreaming that you forget that you really got to put the work in. Yeah. And I think that's the difference, and why I say that I pay homage to a man that has a plan. Because when you have a plan, you have a strategic from A to Z. This how I'm going to get there.
And this is how it's going to work.
Dreaming is just the first step. Yeah. The vision part is just the first step of manifestation. But in order for you to materialize whatever it is you have envisioned or dreamt about, you got to do the work. You got to have a plan. Manifestation is not just sitting there kumbaya at crisscross applesauce and humming. It's not just the meditational aspect.
Yeah. And I asked you to dive into the difference of that because I feel like that's what get confused. Everybody take the manifestation and the visions and all of that aspect and ends there. Mm-hmm. That's it. I manifested this and that's just it. You don't got to do nothing else and it's supposed to come into fruition.
Yeah.
And that's not really reality. And I also want to give a disclaimer to clear it up a little bit. Because I was saying your average person, I don't want it to be taken as like your average Joe or as if there's anything with working an average job. Mm-hmm. Because the reality is, no matter what you do, whatever type of dream or business or whatever you need to, or whatever you want to do, you have to work. You have to fund it. You have to start somewhere. There's nothing wrong with, working anywhere, doing anything, especially men, because I feel like
men have so much pressure.
I was about to say it's so much pressure on our black men.
Yeah, and I was literally just having a conversation about this earlier today, and it's like I literally within the last few years have become like a little bit more empathetic for people, right? And it's like lately I have been just doing a lot of internal evaluation, right? And just thinking about like my last relationship and my contribution and why things turned out the way that it did. I'm acknowledging the fact that I'm not a good girlfriend. I'm really selfish and I want things to be my way. I'm not good at compromising. And the list goes on of why I'm not a good girlfriend. But even acknowledging that and then thinking like, okay, this the criteria or the pressure that I was putting on this man to sustain when I wasn't even playing my part is kind of unrealistic. And I know that there's 100,000 more me's who have this not even unrealistic expectation, but still, want this man to be oh so kind, oh so considerate, oh so thoughtful, also all of these things. But then it's like, sis, when it was given
where you showing up?
Yeah, and it's like given an opportunity for you to show up, or for you to be oh so thoughtful, or to be oh so considerate, or be so oh so loving, and I fell short. I'm not gonna lie, I really did.
And something I think is really big. I seen this earlier, and I was speaking about it. It was like a word that everybody just learned, and a new word for everybody is narcissist and gaslighting and stuff. But a big word that people need to take on in the new year is accountability, because especially us females do not take accountability.
You don't think so?
I don't think as much as we should, especially when it comes to dating and with our men and guys. So for you to even sit up here and just say, okay, I know I'm not a good girlfriend. How many people are going to sit up there and just straight up say, yo, I'm not a good girlfriend? I didn't show up in this way or do that or do that.
I don't know, but I told my ex-boyfriend that when we was in a relationship.
Yeah, see, I'm able to say, like, I could sit here with you on this camera and say I haven't been a good girlfriend in relationships, but I'm not telling the person I was dating. I'm never telling him, like, yeah, I wasn't a good girlfriend. Is you shitting me?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not doing that. But the fact that you could sit up here and list down the things, I feel like us as females, how we want our men to step up and be better protectors and providers and to guide us and be better leaders, we need to step up and be those nurturers and those caregivers and those, the people that they need. Because just like we need our men for things, they need us for things.
Yeah.
And acknowledging it in the first place, I feel like would definitely be the first step, because a lot of females don't even acknowledge that.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that 1,000%. We could definitely do better at showing our appreciation for the men that we have in our lives. And this doesn't even have to be intimate. I'm talking about platonic, like whether you have a male friend or a male cousin or your older brother or whatever the case may be. Like, we really need to do a better job paying homage to the men who are being men. The reason why I'm saying that is because, like, we get so caught up in the idea and the conversation of the men who aren't doing what they're supposed to do, or the men that's not doing what we feel like men should be doing. But we don't, in the process of that, acknowledging all the clowns, we not acknowledging the men that's over here that's really showing up and doing what they got to do. So,
and I have another unpopular opinion that I was talking to a male friend today about. I was talking to a male friend today about this, and another very unpopular opinion is about the whole conversation of what you bring to the table. And nobody likes to be asked that question.
I bet.
Yeah, I don't think nobody likes to be asked that question. But the reality of it is, I believe a lot of people, men mostly, because I don't hear women ask that question too often, but I believe a lot of men ask that question so they won't be basically delusional or led in the wrong direction. I feel like to ask somebody up front, how can you benefit me? Like, and this is just found to me today that I just like formed this opinion and having this conversation because I was the person as well. Don't ask me no shit like that. Like, but truthfully speaking,
I think it's fair.
It's very fair because us as women, and I'm saying us because I am one of them that does this, we date and fall in love and pursue men sometimes out of delusion. Most of the time is what we see something that we're interested in or that we're attracted to, and we make a whole person kind of ourselves. If that makes sense. Like I don't want to necessarily say you form an identity of this person, but you don't take them for exactly what they show you they are from day one. Whereas though men, they take exactly who you are and that's who you are from day one. That's like when you first start dating somebody, as a female, when you first start dating a man, you hear so many girls like, my man, I'm in love on day 3. Right? But on the other hand of it, a man, day 3, you ask him about somebody, he like, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know her like that yet. So we really fall in love or like somebody or grow attraction for men off of like our own perception kind of. So for men to ask that what you bring to the table question, I feel like it's like I said, it's facing the reality kind of.
Yeah, it is.
Like for me to invest in you or whatever I'm about to invest in you, I want to know how can you possibly benefit me.
Yeah, here's my opinion on that, and I'm glad that you brought that up. I feel like women that are being asked what they brought to the table, depending on where you date and who you date, the type of men that you date, whatever the case may be, the question probably will never come up. However,
very true.
If the question does come up, suck it up and answer it. Why? Because like Destiny said, that person definitely wants to know what the investment, know the person or who they're about to invest in. That's one aspect, right? But if I'm being 1,000% transparent, I can definitely say that I have been asked that before and it has made me uncomfortable, right? I have been asked that in the past, right? And it has made me uncomfortable because it catches me off guard. So there's this sense of like unsettledness because like, what if I say the wrong thing?
Yeah.
That was birthed from a place of fear, right? Or being judged, essentially.
Yeah.
And then thinking about it today and how prominent it is in our conversations when we speak about dating. If somebody asked me that today, which I doubt somebody would ask me that, but if somebody was to ask me that today, I have a long list of what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
And my response is not going to be, I am the table. Even though I feel like women are the table.
Yeah, but to counter that as well, men are supposed to pursue women, right? How do you expect this man to pursue you and he don't know what he's pursuing? Besides a pretty face, maybe?
Yeah, but I feel like if you're dating someone with the intentions of longevity, it should be no problem as to why you can't reveal yourself. Like, why are we trying so hard to maintain this element of mystery?
Yeah.
And yeah, like the element of mystery is something that I love, but also it's kind of immature.
It's very immature.
So it's like, I don't know. To each his own, you know.
I feel like it's kind of scary dating in today's time because it's really like a game. It's like a who can care more game, who can be player the longest. It's just like a game. It's like a tag. Who could it's I don't know. It's very uncomfortable and it's very immature because that's how dating is at all ages right now.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't even think that that's a new thing. I think that what happened is we kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed because dating has always been a risk.
I didn't say nothing about a risk. It's definitely a risk. Yeah.
So what do you mean?
I said a game, like a back and forth game. like you said, the whole mystery thing or trying to
so with that. Yeah, so what I was saying was, with that being said, I feel like that's a part of risk taking when you're dating, right? Because our hope is in the dating phase that you would be like, okay, this person likes me as much as I like them. But the reality is, if they don't, then you're taking a risk, putting yourself out there and just kind of hoping for the best. Whether it be reciprocity or whether it be like, okay, maybe this is not my person, or maybe I'm interested in you in this one area, but not interested enough for this to actually be something serious. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is just a good time and it'll never actually end up being a committed, full-blown relationship where we will be considering the house, the marriage, the kids, things mm-hmm. of that nature. So when I say risk-taking, I think that we have, women, and especially speaking on women that I know from personal experiences, I think that we have always thought mm-hmm. that love and dating was going to be this fairy tale. And I'm saying women that I know because I'm in my mid-20s, right? Mm-hmm. So from mid-20s to early 30s, we're kind of just getting our feet wet mm-hmm. as far as our knowing ourselves, our identity, and actually dating other people and having a solid attribute. This is different than... And I'm not saying it's impossible, but this is different than your high school sweetheart. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. This is different than dating because of proximity. When you're dating with intention, you might have to really put yourself out there to potentially be hurt by 3 people before you get to the 4th person. And I was having a conversation with my friend today, and we were talking about like cheating in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And she was basically just like, I do my due diligence of showing up and doing what I'm supposed to do. So whatever a nigga do or whatever a man do is on him. That's not going to stop me or harden my heart for the next, because I'm showing up to be who I'm supposed to be and what I feel like a good woman is supposed to be. Yep. And if that doesn't work out, or whoever feels like they want to do whatever, when it comes to cheating, lying, dishonesty, betrayal, whatever, I'm going to let God handle that. Yeah. That's not on me to take in my hands.
And that's what it is in any relationships, friendships, platonic or romantic. Yeah. As long as you show up and do your part, it should not affect you at all. Yeah. It's not your duty to give them revenge or to get them karma or anything like that. As long as you showed up and you gave it your all and you did as much as you knew you could do, that's, I feel like, all that matters.
And honestly, while we on topic, can we talk about the whole lick back? It's no such thing as getting your lick back. If your man cheat on you tonight... I was about to say,
how you getting your lick back if he cheated on you?
If your man cheat on you tonight, you cannot go cheat on him tomorrow or in the morning and say, oh, yeah, I did my big one, get my lick back.
Can I say something?
Sweetie, you can't get your lick back. And getting your lick back with your own energy, your own time, your own body parts is...
I was just about to say, so insane. The double standard, regardless, is not okay. But for a female to go and you trying to do something to get your lick back... You just gave your man a double up. Like, you didn't get your lick back. You played yourself even more. And now, if he really was sorry or felt bad or knew he fucked up, he don't regret it no more. Like, you just really played yourself. The whole lick back, like, no, you can't do that. Your biggest lick back is leaving. Like, your biggest lick back is removing yourself.
Yeah. I think I could definitely agree. I was going to say, your biggest look back is denying access. Yeah. Because I swear, it's nothing that hurts a man more than a woman who is dead serious. A woman with a made up mind when enough is enough. Especially after you done accepted some shit and you done took them back
when they're used to one thing,
and then hold on, your mind be made up. Like, you really done?
You serious?
Oh no, baby. That's really getting your lick back. Like,
now they chest hurt and they can't breathe.
Literally gagging for air. So I think that's something else that we as women, we gotta dead that. There's no such thing as getting your lick back. But I wanted to ask you this question. In comparison, I know earlier on we were talking about like men providing, right? Do you feel like a man that provides financially is considered a provider, essentially, is the type of man that you find yourself submitting to? Do you think that you'll be able to submit to a man who you either make the same or make less than?
Okay, your first question. You asked, do I think do I feel a man that is financially providing, is that a man I can submit to? Mm-hmm. Is he only providing financially?
That was the question.
I'm asking you, like, does he only provide financially, or is he able to lead me in other areas?
Well, we're talking about finances. In a hypothetical situation, everything, well, maybe he doesn't check every box, because I don't think that most men check every single box for a woman or whatever the case, and vice versa. But he checks a decent amount. You're pretty happy. The only thing is the financial department.
Oh, like he's not providing financially. I don't know. See, the thing with submitting is it's like an energy. I just feel like it's an energy. Like you have to be a man, and not like no controlling, possessive. Not that like, that ill energy. Like, you gotta be a confident man. I don't know. I can't say.
So do you think that your ability to
submit to a man with no money, probably not.
With...
I can't do that. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably not.
Okay, so how about if y'all making the same amount of money, right? But he's paying all the rent, and you pay like the electric, the Wi-Fi, the groceries.
That means he has no money now.
What you mean? What do you mean?
Hold on, you said we make the same amount of money, right?
Yeah, and he's paying,
but he covers everything.
He covers the rent, which is like the main necessity in a joint household, right? And then you cover like the utilities, the Wi-Fi, the groceries.
What are you asking? Can I submit to him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the basis of submitting to your man or to your partner is based off of that. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's based off of how they can provide or where they're providing. It is based off of that man's character and who that man is as a man. It has nothing to do with making the same amount of money. I could pay this, I could pay that, because money can come and money can go. 1 month we could be making the same amount of money. 1 month he could be making money. I could be making no money. It could, like, it comes and goes. So I don't think submission is based off of finances solely. That's why I said it really depends.
I'm glad you added solely in there.
Yeah, it really depends, because I mean, money played a part a little bit, but it really depends on it. Really depends on the man.
I hate how us as women, I feel like social media kind of did this thing where it kind of like dumbs down the way that we feel. Like, money is a huge
money is a huge factor
in relationships, and it's a huge security net for women. And when I say that, it's not to say that you have to be a millionaire,
right?
But when we're weighing the scale of things to consider when you decide to be monogamous with a man and like fully committed, finances is pretty
a huge thing. Yeah. So I want to also speak on that. And even when you said like, oh, okay, y'all make the same amount of money, but he's covering this and a third. So growing up, 2 things that I was always taught, and it's probably not the best advice to be given out, so don't take this from me, but date a man that makes more money than you. And well, the other one is not really necessarily, but I feel like as women, and it might sound bad, and I feel like it's sometimes frowned upon, but you need to date somebody that has more money than you or makes more money than you. You just do.
I agree with that. But my logic to take things a little bit deeper is that women date up.
Yeah, that's what I mean by that. You have to date up.
Yeah, but not only financially. I think that a man with more education, with more money, with more wisdom, with more wits or whatever the case may be, is going to be way more attractive to a woman that has less, because we're looking at it from the perspective of like, okay, this is his attribute to me. This is the value that he can add. This is what he can teach me. These are areas that he can lead me in.
Right. So a conversation that I seen that was had, I think it was held on like a live or a podcast or something. And it was comparing the two of the way men date and the way men are able to date and the way women date.
Yeah.
And men are able to date down. The reality is a man can build up a woman in so many different areas. A woman, I don't want to say you could build up a man because it's like,
I think that a woman could definitely build up a man.
Because the thing is, and where the conversation was going, is based off of a loyalty. So, say if we could talk about, we was just talking about finances. Say we're talking about finances. Say if I'm well off financially, I'm cool. I find this man that doesn't have any money, but I like him a lot, and I love him, but he don't got no money. And I put him on, and I help him start making money, and he start making money, and now he blew up and he cool. He's gonna go deal with all the girls that wouldn't deal with him when he was broke.
That's probably true.
But if we switch the dynamic, if this man got a bunch of money and he meet this woman that doesn't have anything, and he put her on and she come up, 9 times out of 10 she's gonna forever be loyal to this man that put her on and changed her life.
To a certain extent.
What do you mean by that?
I think that loyalty shouldn't be defined by confinement. Meaning that she will be loyal to him, and whether she pays him homage publicly, privately, or with a thought or consideration, women in this time and age, and I am one of those women, we will move on with the quickness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Regardless of how much money and what's what. So I definitely agree with somewhat with the stance of the argument, but I also feel like I don't know.
I feel like it's not speaking, like I said, it's not speaking for all men and all women, but like I said, I completely agree with it because the majority of men, like I said, is gonna...
Wait, so to begin this whole perspective, you said that essentially men can build up a woman and women can't.
No, I didn't say women can't, because, I mean, like I said, that's why I gave
That's what you said, and that's why I countered it.
I said women, like, you don't want to build up no man. I didn't say you can't. And that's why I gave the example of, okay, if I was super financially, cool, and I met a man, and that's why I gave that example. Because I was given the more or less factor. Not saying like all women going to be loyal to this man that put her on for the rest of her life, or all men is going to go out and deal with all the girls. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all subjective, kind of. Because you could have a man that provides 100%. 1,000% financially, and maybe could teach you something and all that, but as far as his dominance, or maybe as far as his confidence, or whatever the case may be, maybe you just don't want to submit. Because I feel like submitting to a man is not like I think it's like natural, kind of. You know when you with a man that you want to submit to, and you know when you with a man that's is never a chance with. You know when you're dealing with somebody and it's like, you're not about to shut the fuck up. No matter how much money they got. So, I don't know. I don't think it's based off of that at all.
Yeah. I definitely agree that submission is not solely based off of what a man's financial capabilities are. But I do think that is a factor. I definitely agree with earlier you said something about like confidence.
Yeah.
I think that confidence without so much ego definitely plays a role in it. And ultimately, when I think of submission, I think I personally can only submit to someone who I feel safe with. So if you can provide me a sense of security and really just, I don't know, be there for me, I feel like that's, in those cases are when I feel like I organically submit.
And you see how it's like you said, organically submit. So I got a question. Do you think you can start dating a man, or you be with a man and he grow? You know how in a relationship people grow, period. And he grow, do you feel like if you didn't start off being submissive, do you feel like that's something that can come over time?
For some people, I want to say yes. For others, not. For me, probably not, because my patience isn't really that long, right? And something else is a woman that doesn't... Okay, so submission, I want to take it back a little bit. Submission has everything to do with respect.
Yes.
So if I don't submit to you in the beginning initially, and I'm not talking about in the early dating phase or whatever when you're getting to know each other, but once you have decided that this is the person that you want to be in a relationship with, right? If I'm being rebellious in the beginning, what's going to happen is after a while, I'm going to become too comfortable in the process, and then I'm going to start getting disrespectful. What I came to realize is all of the men that I've dated or would have been in a relationship with, I have given everyone a clean slate, right? Now, it's the lying, the miscommunication, the constant arguing, the like things like that build that wall up. That's kind of like, I'm not listening to you. You don't even listen to yourself. You got standards for me that you don't even uphold yourself. Why would I listen to you? First of all, I don't even like men like you. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like...
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that a lot? Like, I feel like there's been so... And that's what I kind of mean by we date off of a persona that we kind of build for these men. Because have you ever dated someone and later down the line you realize, like, I don't even like you?
Yeah, but I don't think that personally. I am very logical. I am very logical, and I'm not like a easy female, right? I do not date off of a persona of who the person is, right? What I realized, and I'm saying this, I'm happy we talking about this because this is a newfound realization to myself, right?
Okay.
What I realized is people change. People also are really good at showing you bits and pieces, right? So as you continuously date this person, there are new levels and new chapters and new heights that are being revealed or being elevated to. So it's not that I create this persona of you. It's the fact that you didn't show me this side of you when we were in the beginning. When when the honeymoon was honeymooning, you didn't show me this side of you.
Yeah.
For one, and for two, I didn't create a persona, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't overlook things intentionally based off of how I felt about you emotionally.
Yeah. Because
women, we're emotional creatures. Men are logical.
Exactly. And that's basically what I was trying to say earlier when I was saying we kind of date off delusion. About how we're, like you said, emotional and men are very logical with what it is. And that's where I think I don't know what it's called, my delusion, my mistake is, because I don't make a persona of people, because when I date people, it's like it take a lot for me to be very, very serious. But once it does get to that point, for me, I definitely overlook a lot of the red flags.
Yeah.
And then, because every time when things eventually go wrong or go to shit,
it's like I knew better.
It's like I knew better.
I seen this earlier on.
I seen this so long ago. Like, all of these things you're doing now, you was really doing them back then, but on smaller levels.
Yeah. Like
you said, bits and pieces. And now that I really see who you really are, it's like... But on the other fence of that, do you feel like you are 1,000% showing every part of you in the beginning?
Well, absolutely not.
Okay.
This goes back to you sitting on the first date across from the man and he asking you what do you bring to the table and you just sitting there dumb and stuck.
Yeah.
You don't even feel comfortable saying what you bring to the table. So it's like, and can we go back to that real quick? I got something to say. Disclaimer. Ladies, if you know me, you know I am for the girls. I love the girls. But can we be for real? A lot of y'all don't want to answer what y'all bring to the table question because y'all don't be bringing shit to the table.
I was about to say, unfortunately, a lot of girls are airheads. Huge airheads. Pretty airheads. So it's like...
I don't know.
Oh,
my perspective is, if you are a woman, right? And... you feel like being asked the thought of being asked that question makes you feel some type of way. My advice is
you need to look inward.
Write out your values as a woman, or write out your values or attributes that you desire as a mother one day, or as a wife one day, or as a girlfriend, or whatever your relationship status is, or whatever title or role responsibility you carry today. Grab a piece of paper and write it out. If the thought of someone asking you, a man asking you who is interested in pursuing you, makes you cringe, really look inwardly and ask yourself, why does this make me uncomfortable? Because honestly, transparently speaking, and I'm speaking from past experience, the only reason why it's a cringe moment is because you're too uncomfortable to answer the question.
True.
You honestly never took the time to really consider, what do I bring to the table? If we're being transparent.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about little old me almost 10 years ago being asked this question. I'm sitting here looking dumb and uncomfortable. And mind you, back when I was asked that question, that wasn't a prominent topic in the dating field.
Yeah.
As it is now. So it's like, who even asked them? What are you talking about? Like, we in the car vibing. Why are you asking? Like, you worried about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But now I'm grown. I'm mature. A man that asks that, it's really not.
I feel like
left field.
I feel like you said, to be asked that question and cringe, like you said, it means either you don't know what you bring to the table or you bring nothing. Because the reality is, it's like anything. When you have something to offer, you sell yourself. So when you know what you can...
Hold on. Disclaimer. She ain't talking about selling that cat.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying you sell yourself. Like, oh, I could do this. I can make your life better in this way. I could bring this to you. I could change. And that's something you kind of brag about. Because you'll be happy. Remember...
To showcase yourself, essentially.
Exactly. We had
Especially
a conversation.
to somebody that you like.
Exactly.
If somebody you like is
somebody
asking
you're interested in.
Okay, so let's be honest. In comparison, it's a 2-to-1 ratio of women and men, right?
It's like a 3-to-1.
So, 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Like, at this point, right? That takes me to something else I want to talk about, but I'm going to go back to that. But if that's the ratio, right? Mm-hmm. If he got A, B, C, D right here, right? And he's saying, okay, what do you bring to the table?
What makes you different?
Why would you not say what you bring to the table? Mm-hmm. And hold on, disclaimer, because little old me back then that was asked that question, when I was asked that, I'm like, oh, I bring my own money. I'm independent. I don't need no
want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
Girl, mind you, I'm running my own business. I'm running it up. I'm going.
That just pushed you further than everybody else. That just threw you out the window. They don't want that.
Talk about that. And I feel like women, we have to stop. Like, it's okay to be soft. It's okay to allow a man to provide for you. It's okay to need help. If somebody, listen, I got this new mantra. I started it this year, December of last year, y'all. If somebody asks me for help, I'm saying yes. Yes, I need help.
Yep.
Do I not look like a battered woman? I'm sorry. I'm not denying help.
Yep.
I'm not.
That's crazy because that's something I just started doing too. Like, not too long ago, that's really what it is. That whole, I don't need a man. I'm so independent.
It don't
Throw it away. Throw it away. Because that's what's going to lead you to the men that say, girl, you the one with all the money.
Girl, you just seen your mom set Miss Independent herself, raise up all these kids and did all of that. And it's a difference between having a choice and doing what you got to do.
Yes.
And I think that as women, as we walk into this next phase or next era of generation that we're raising up and setting examples for, we need to cut the bullshit.
Quick.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Because I'm sick and tired. I'm sorry. If I'm carrying all these bags and then somebody say, ma'am, do you... Yes.
Every time.
I was waiting for you, actually. I thought my shoulder was going to fall out my arm socket.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know. I'm quick to ask a man for some help. And I'm not even, like, I'm talking about with anything. Like, I'm the type that's going to stand there and look at all the bags and find a random man in the room. Hey, do you mind? Can you do this real fast?
Listen, I be at work. Time. They be like, yes, clean up, change the track. I go straight to the, excuse me.
Can you do this for me?
Do you mind changing chairs for me?
Child, every time.
I'm sorry.
I don't care where I'm at. I don't care who I'm around. I'm asking the nearest man possible.
Like,
can you handle this for me? Yeah.
So that's something that I feel like we definitely need to get rid of.
That Miss Independent, it's not cute. It's not a flex.
But also, this is the point that I was making because we went left field a little bit. So to get back on track, right? So little old me that was asked that question, those are the attributes that I thought that I was bringing to the table as a woman, right? Okay. And not understanding that grown me today, the attributes of a woman are the things that are within us. The ability to nurture your man.
Yep.
The ability and his kids. The ability to turn a house into a home. The ability for you to show up, support, and love on your man.
Yep.
That's what they want. Those are womanly attributes. And I don't even want to go biblical on y'all today, but Adam and Eve is a prime example.
Yep.
Hello. Of what the roles and responsibilities of a man and woman is, right? And when we talk about headship and servitude and leadership, y'all, women like myself, I'm speaking on behalf of us, who embody so much masculine energy in comparison to our feminine energy, we gotta do better at letting men be men.
Yes.
We really need to do a better job at letting men just be men.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that 1,000%. But also, today, men don't know how to be men. I feel like that's another conversation.
That's a whole nother.
These men don't know
rabbit
how to
hole
be men.
For us to jump down. But this conversation was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah. I feel like we could talk about this for hours and hours.
It can go on for a long time. These are all the topics that can go on because there's so many different levels. There's so many different layers and opinions.
Yeah, it's all subjective. So everything that we said today is not
fact.
It's not fact. It's based on personal experience, for one. For two, if you do like some of the shit we said, throw it at the wall, see what sticks. If it don't stick, it ain't no good. And if it stick, it's yours to keep. Like, that's my advice.
So yeah,
I feel like this was a really good episode. I'm really excited to continue this. Maybe we'll do a part 2.
We could do a part 2, but how do we do a
start
part
off
2 on season 2?
Yeah, we can't do that.
We can't do that.
I don't know, y'all. We want to continue the conversation.
We have to. Maybe with a guest.
Yeah,
maybe we need a male opinion.
Yeah, to challenge our perspective.
Yeah, I think that's
fair.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in.
Wait, before we go, let's end off by doing a word of advice for our sister.
My word of advice would be to don't use society or social media for your dating preferences. That would definitely be it. Don't use social media for your dating preferences. I feel like a lot of girls, a lot of women are dating off of what they're seeing on social media and not what they truly like themselves. Mm-hmm. You could like a guy, but then you don't like him because he doesn't meet that social standard. So I feel like you should date based off of what you really like and not what people tell you should like.
That's good. I like that one.
Yeah.
My advice would be to invest into yourself. And when I say investing into yourself, I mean, and this is something else that I need to work on as well, but like really take the time to invest into your image. Like dress up regardless of where you're going, whether it's a small errand you're going to Target. Take pride in like your identity and who you are, even if that changes over time. But also, I think that if we as a collective and women would invest in our womanly attributes and like nurture that and build it up, we wouldn't feel so uncomfortable when we are asked the question of what we bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And not only that, men have this idea that like women be dating for help, for one, whether it be financial help or if they have like they're a single mom and they might need like, you know, or desire that father figure in the household, or they could possibly be dating because they're hungry or bored or things like that. Like these are real life topics that are being had on behalf of women, and I feel like that will come to an end if we invest in ourselves, invest in our value, invest in our finances, invest in our image, like, you know, really just invest in us. And I'm not saying that from a place of be hyper independent and just be superior, like to the point where you feel like you don't need a man's presence, or, you know, this just popped into my head and I gotta say it. That's my word of advice. But also, don't let the lack of a man's presence force you into believing that you don't need a man's presence.
That's good.
And I'm saying that because just because you don't have what it is you desire, or you don't have what it is you see other people have in their relationship dynamic, or maybe because you have been brought up under the dynamic that your mom didn't have a man in the house, so you feel like you don't need a man in the house because my mom did it all by herself. Don't let that allow you to fall victim to the fact that we need men and men need us. That's my word of advice.
I think that's really good.
Yeah, I like that.
I think y'all should put that on repeat a little bit.
We might have to make that a clip.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Y'all. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a really good conversation.
It's crazy because it's one of the topics that we said we would never touch on. But sure. It's also a conversation that I feel like sometimes needs to be had. Mm-hmm. For sure. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. And thank you guys for tuning into season 1.
Oh, my gosh, I'm about to cry.
It's a wrap.
Like,
we did 10 episodes and it's a wrap. Season 1 is officially over. Thank y'all for sticking with us. Even if you're new, thank you for your interest and for listening. If you're watching this, like, share, and subscribe. Mm-hmm. And still, we are taking recommendations. We are taking questions. Topics.
Advice, whatever you
questions.
Feel like. Yeah.
DM us. Email us. Comment.
And if you're not already a part of the Sister Circle or Daily Dose of Sisterhood, click the link in our bio or on any of our platforms to become a member.
For sure.
We're really intentionally curating a space that I feel like every woman needs to be a part of.
Definitely.
And I don't know, just come bless us. Come be a part.
Come bless us. Come bless yourself.
Wait, hold on. Before we go.
I was about to say, also.
I was about to say, don't forget to
use the code DSPOD and go to our website, dearsisterletstalk.com, and get your 2024 personal organizer. It's 2024.
What are you waiting for?
It's 2024. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, go shop. And yeah, toodles.
See y'all for season 2.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast, Let's Talk Sis, with Des and Sa.
Stay connected by following us on all of your favorite social media platforms. And don't forget, use hashtag #DearSisterLet'sTalk to find us.
Wait, before you go, head over to our website or our Instagram and join our interactive community for a daily dose of sisterhood, where like-minded women fellowship, encourage, and create a safe space amongst one another.
See you inside, sis.
Toodles.
Bye.